On Canada Day, 2014, 2,000 people sloshed through the mud on a cold and rainy morning to make a living flag. Why do you think they did that? Why are you here tonight? Maybe for the same reason. I propose to you that it's because we want to connect. We are made for connection. From the time of conception, we are joined to another. Babies who do not receive loving human touch shut down, and as adults, without meaningful connection, we feel a void which we strive to fill, sometimes in damaging ways. I talked to Timothy Eaton one day. He sits at the MTS Center here in Winnipeg. As people walk by, they rub his shoe. "How does that make you feel?" I asked him. "Isn't that obvious?" he replied. "It makes me shiny." Connection brightens us up. I have a good friend who recently took her life. She didn't think she'd really be missed. But over 200 people showed up at her memorial, all of whom were somehow impacted by her life. We all left knowing our lives have a ripple effect. Everything in this world is interconnected. Round and round we go, weaving our lives together, largely unaware of the impact we have. We have things we're passing around, good and bad, and eventually they come back to us. So, fill the world with what you want it filled with, because we are all connected. Your good is my good. If we're connected, why do we often feel so alone? In fact, sometimes most profoundly when we are in a crowded room. If those near us don't show interest in us, it enhances our sense of isolation. What we're looking for is heart connection and acceptance. Something as simple as singing together can create this kind of connection. We can increase the world's relational warming. Whereas global warming is not good, relational warming is, and it reduces toxic emissions like crime, addictions, and hopelessness. If we could increase the quality of connection in the human race, this world would be a better place. We just need to find our connection points. When I met the Selkirk settlers, I saw a courage in them that I respected, and they, in turn, helped me figure out how to carry on. That was our bridge. We need to find these bridges and walk over them. The first bridge I discovered is one I never would have chosen. In 2011, my world collapsed. I lost my job, my community, my home, my marriage, and my adult children moved away. That was a lot of loss all at once. But I discovered that brokenness creates handholds. As I shared my pain, others began to share their stories with me, and I discovered a depth of relationship with people I might otherwise not have connected with. Secondly, welcoming people to your table builds a bridge. Being invited into a circle brings a sense of comfort, safety, and belonging. Thirdly, bridges are created through seeing the value of every human being. As I walk through the day, I never know whose eyes I'll look into, who might ask me for a moment of my time, but if I see the value of that person, I will walk over the connecting bridge. A few weeks ago, I went for a walk around the legislative grounds. I noticed in the distance a tiny waif of a girl standing all alone. "Is anybody out here?" I imagined her plaintive cry. I went over and touched her. She was skin and bones. She was one of the millions of victims that died in the 1932 Holodomor famine genocide in the Ukraine. The Russians had not seen the value in her. We have gifts to give and gifts to receive that will meet one of the most fundamental needs we have. Can you imagine a world where loving, considerate interactions are the norm? That day, at the Holodomor statue, I met a young family that had recently emigrated from the Ukraine. They had left all family behind and knew no one in Winnipeg. I handed them my card and told them I'd be honored if you joined me for dinner sometime. We all need connection. We can reach out a hand and give it. We can open our arms wide and receive it. The world was made for this. We were made